G'day, I'm Mitch, professionally known as Seaforth, and I'm doing the music thing. And this is Creative Control.
Welcome to Creative Control. I am joined by a good friend of mine, a super talented person, and somebody I love very much. This is Mitch Thompson.
Oh, mate, that's too sweet. How are you?
I'm good, bro. It's good to see you.
I'm so much better walking in and seeing you here.
Dude, I'm better for you being here. We finally made this happen. It's been a minute.
It
but
has.
your first time seeing the studio.
Yes.
And our first time sitting down for a recorded conversation. Probably best that this one is the recorded one, because if other ones were recorded, we might be in some trouble.
Yes.
So I'm happy to
behave
have you.
self.
Yes. Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Okay.
Let me just start up top by saying I don't want to talk about today the fact that you're Australian.
Okay.
We know. We get it.
It's been spoken
We love
about
it.
now.
It's great.
Now it's
but,
great.
Yep.
All right.
I don't want to talk about that Seaforth started as a duo and now you're flying solo with it.
Okay.
I don't really want to get into it.
Spoken
Not
about.
like that.
Spoken
Yeah,
about.
it happened. It is what it is.
Okay, beautiful.
I don't want to talk about how much we both adore your fiance and are looking forward to your wedding this fall.
Thank you.
Although we
can't
are.
wait.
And then I don't want to talk about why your dog Frank looks exactly like my childhood dog. I don't want to talk about it, but it's weird.
So we've got nothing to talk about. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, that's
we'll see you
it. So
next time.
thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
What I do want to talk about, your creative rhythm as an independent artist.
Yes.
I want to get into what it's like to be the face, voice, and strategy behind Seaforth now. Mm-hmm. And then I want to also talk about what it takes to build a fan base that like sticks with you through everything. They're not just there.
Got you.
And then lastly, I want to talk about how you make your content feel fresher than most major label marketing does.
Oh, yeah.
And I think let's start there. I think I want to start with the social media content, because right now, in a time when most artists are complaining about having to play like the social media game, you stand out. You found a way to do that.
Well, thank you. I feel like starting with that's probably a good thing, because I feel like that's like my consistent mental nightmare that I go through every day.
Okay.
I have ups and downs, but I mean, content's weird, man. And I feel like the position I'm in now, I know we don't have to get into the beginning and the end, but where I'm at now is very much a kind of like rebuilding, pick up the pieces stage. So I've kind of had to look at content in a different way. I'm doing it on my own now, and I've never had an issue with content. I feel like I started doing content and it was fun, and there wasn't a need for content like there is now. So my relationship with it has changed so dramatically, when then it was like I was doing stupid skits, like just filming because I enjoyed it, where now it's like you have to be so mindful about what you're doing. It has to be so planned out. I just try to figure out ways to do it that doesn't make me want to freaking end it all. You know what I mean? It can be such a taxing thing. I just try to think of, I don't know, if I'm a bit of an idiot. Like I'm a silly kind of guy.
Yeah,
so I'm like my sense of humor is very self-deprecating, and I try to find ways to make fun of myself, kind of make fun of what I'm actually doing in the video maybe, and try to find some way to enjoy it. But right now I'm definitely not incredibly I'm not planned out for weeks ahead. I'm kind of a little bit off the cuff right now, so that can get a little bit stressful, but I have like a balance of doing the standard videos, and I went out and bought a camera, got all the stuff because I get excited about it. I have a balance of like trying to build up videos, me doing the lip syncing thing, promote the songs, but then try to figure out how to let people know like into my life, my personality, and see how I can engage people that way. I definitely don't think I'm at a pinnacle of like, this is what you should be doing, because I'm very much like rebuilding it, but I'm enjoying it. I feel like people are receiving the content well, and I feel like Seaforth has always been something that people are like, you always have great content. Like it's engaging. It's not like everything else. So I appreciate you acknowledging that, but I'm also feeling like I'm still like building it, where I'm like, I'm getting no views. Like, I'll feel like I've done something great. It might not get any attention, but then something does, and I don't know. It just depends. It's different on every platform as well, but I'm definitely like in this period of like building and figuring out like what I like to do, what I can continuously do, and what I don't like doing.
I think that's also just part of just being a creator in any like lane of content is feeling like you don't know what you're doing at frequent times.
100%.
Just being like, yeah, I mean, I have a general direction. I know what works, what doesn't work for me, and consistently honing in that list and refining it. But at the same time, being like, dude, I don't fucking know. I'm just kind of throwing some shit out there and seeing what sticks, and oh, this works, so we're going to do more of that. Was there a moment where you felt it kind of click? Because it feels like since I met you, probably, I don't know, 5 years ago now, when I met you, you've always had a finger on the pulse of like what content works for you and how your brand should come off on social. Do you remember there being a time when you're like, oh shit, that's an unlock for me?
Weirdly, I think not the opposite, but I always kind of felt personally, I was like, there's a disconnect because we don't take ourselves too seriously. And I never took myself too seriously, where it was like, I wasn't trying to portray anything. It was just like, it's always a joke almost. Yeah. Which I feel like in some ways might have been to our disadvantage, because then there's like, how do I connect with you on a deeper level? But then I kind of started thinking about it. I was like, that's just kind of who I am. Yeah. So that kind of is the brand. So if I'm consistently doing that kind of stuff, then people will know me as that's what I do. Yeah. I guess. But it's definitely, it's never been like, I've got such a grasp of this. Like I know exactly what I'm doing. I'll definitely wake up and be like, fuck. Shit, what am I posting? I'll be like, I need to think of something great, which can, then if I'm always trying to do something a little bit humorous, that ends up becoming even harder, because then I'm like, I've got to be funny. And if they don't like it, it's over. How has your like relationship with content evolved, would you say, over the years? I feel like it's evolved very differently in the last year. So initially, as I said, content for me was something natural. It wasn't when it was needed necessarily. It was just something I enjoyed doing and filming silly videos. Now, as it's such a necessity, I've had to kind of like hone in and be like, it's a job. Yeah. And the relationship of I'm doing it because it's fun versus I'm doing it because if I don't do it, I don't exist. Mm-hmm. And then knowing that my content or anything I do now as an independent artist is going up against people that have labels that are funneling money into. I'm not putting any money into what I'm doing. It's all like self-made. I'm filming it, I'm editing it myself, I'm doing all this stuff. So it's not like killing it. I'm not like millions of views, but I'm like, that's mine. I feel good about it. But I know that the competition that I'm up against is like lots of money going behind it, but then multiple videos a day. There's so much competition. So I'm like, if I can just stand out a little bit and consistently do that, maybe there's a door that will open slowly. It's kind of like right now I feel like I'm just trying to build the algorithm up again, and get people to acknowledge that I exist again. And obviously I have to have music that comes up with that at the same time. But I forgot what the question even was. I'm just you're right on. No, you're right on it. I think, I mean, that's what we do here. I think the lines between like artist and content creator like are kind of becoming blurred, where like you feel ownership in like my content is this thing and then my music is this other thing, and like yes, they cross-pollinate for each other. Yeah. But it has become like you're talking about, where like yes, you're up against these people at labels where there's a ton of money going into it, but I think at the same time a lot of those artists who are on major labels who are creating content, I don't feel their personality through it. And knowing you personally, when I watch your content, I don't feel, oh, this is musician Mitch. Like I feel like no, this like I feel you. I feel your personality through it. That's good. I wondered like how you've been able to do that, because I feel like that's what every label wants their artists to do. Right. But it's also, I think, the people who are in a similar position to you on the independent side doing things themselves, that's the battle, is trying to get your like infuse your persona in or your personality into your content. Is that a conscious thing or does that just happen? I feel like it's honestly, that's been one of the hard things for me, is when I have to combine the music with who I am, because I feel like if I make funny videos, and we've done a bunch of videos that have like gone viral, but they never had anything to do with the music at all. Mm-hmm. So for my thing now, it's always been, how do I do something that's promoting a serious song and be my not so serious self, and kind of have those two worlds. So that's something I feel like I've only been really trying to figure out recently, like whether it's a bit of this new thing I've started with Dylan Brady, my good mate, called Artist Anonymous, where you're kind of making fun of the content that maybe like kind of hurts most artists. You're like, God, this is lame to do this. I don't want to have to freaking do this, but I can still do it in a way that I'm kind of making fun of it it's a joke. I'm getting my personality up, and then I'm actually then still doing the promotion of the song in a way that I usually would have been like, that's lame. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So those kind of things I feel like I'm very much figuring out, but like I'll get an idea every now and then like that. And I'm like, that's great. That's one way. I can repeat that, rinse and repeat many times. So that I feel like is going to be a door for me now that I can do a whole bunch of different pieces of content for. But then like if I'm at home, like I need to film a video of me sitting in the car, I immediately feel the disconnect that I'm like, that doesn't show who I am. I'm blending in with everyone else, point the finger up.
Yes.
It's not going to connect.
Yes.
And I'm also saying this like it sounds like I've got all these views, which I really don't. But I'm just like, I feel like I'm getting into a more consistent space of like what it is.
For sure. And also like you won't say it, but I'll throw it out there for you. Like, no, your content does do well though. And like well enough for sure that you can speak from a place of authority, in my opinion, as somebody who works in the space. Like,
well, thank you.
Like, sure, it might not be 5 mil a video, but like who the fuck is doing that? That's a very small crowd of people. Your content, I think, does speak for itself. And I also think like it's on the up and up, and it's up and up very quick. The pointing up at lyrics type content, you cringe when you see it too?
Oh, bro, I like the idea of doing stuff like that is what sometimes just stops me from doing content. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm like, there's a line of like, because I'm doing it all myself, right?
Yeah.
People have teams, labels and everything now, and I've been in that position, but now I'm so like, which part of my brain do I put to just focusing on the fucking music?
Yeah.
And like what I came here to do and
Yeah.
like what I should be like actually putting all my thought into, then how much am I putting into like making stupid videos about it to try and get it to work? So there's such a funny line.
It's really
like,
meta.
Bro,
Like you and
wild.
Dylan did one the other day where
Yeah.
you were like, you were tipping the cap to, this is obviously a fake viral reaction
Yes.
to my song, where your buddy, who's
Yes.
clearly your buddy, gets in the car and you're like, hey, let me play you this.
Yeah. And he's like, oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
so
hate that stuff.
That was fun to create like that.
Yes.
But if I had to just create the fake reaction video, then I would have been like, I fucking hate myself. So that was a way for me to do it and still enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But then I went home and I'm like, I'm thinking about the next videos, but I'm like, I have like 5 songs I got to finish too. And I'm like, if I've spent all day working on the song, I'm like, shit, I didn't get a video. So I'm like in an internal battle, but I'm figuring it out.
Yeah, that's good. How do you decide what makes the feed and what dies in the drafts?
Cece,
Nice.
my fiance.
She's the filter.
I'll show her everything, and I might annoy her at times. Where I'm like, she's like just got home from a big day of work, and I'm like, I made a video.
This puppy dog sitting at home like, hey, can I
She's
show you
like,
what I did today?
I had the biggest day at work, and I'm like, I made a video. What do you think it is?
Yeah.
But that's definitely like, I want to show people to be like, am I an idiot? Like, there should be a level of idiot in there, but am I going to get cancelled for posting this? Do you like it? I feel like I feed off. That's why everything goes online anyway, because you want, what's the word? Like, you want people to be like, you're great.
Yeah.
Like, I can't think of the
That
word.
validation.
Validation.
Yeah.
So if I can get like a little validation before, I'll be like, all right, this is good. Then sometimes I'll go rogue, and then the ones that if I go rogue, I stress about because I'm like, oh my God, they're going to think of me a certain way.
Because you're like, I really believe in this, even though you guys might not see the vision I do.
Yeah, or it's like just something stupid. Like I remember I just posted something the other week where I was like, I was trying to learn my own song to play. I haven't played it before, so I filmed it. And I forgot every lyric. I played every wrong chord, and it was like just terrible. And I was like, fuck it, I'm posting it.
Nice.
And then I just stressed. I was like,
because you didn't ask anybody.
I was like, should I have deleted that?
Yeah.
Like, it's bad. Like, and I was like, no, it's unhinged. It's good. But I'm like, I don't want to be thinking like that. I just want to be able to be like, I don't give a fuck. Post. And I feel like I'm slowly getting to more of that place. But it is hard as an artist because you care about what you do and you want people to be on board.
Do you handle your music the same way? In a sense of like, do you have a close circle that you're sending like raw files to be like, hey, here's a demo of this. What do you think of this?
Absolutely. I've got, luckily, I mean, living in Nashville, I'm surrounded by a lot of musicians. A lot of my closest friends are musicians, and a lot are in the exact same position as I am, independent, trying to figure out content. That's why I got together with Dylan Brady, and we're like, let's film stuff to make it easier on ourselves. But he'll send me songs, I'll send him songs. Again, Cece, I'll be like, what do you think of this? Is this cool? Like her radar, I think, is great. And then family and stuff like that. But then also I get to a point where I was like, making it, if I felt great about making it, that should be good enough. Like I'm like that. I saw something that John Bellion said the other day.
Obsessed.
Which I know you're obsessed. Incredible. But he said this thing, he was like talking about writing songs and like pitching them to artists. But he's like, if you get the goosebumps in the room, then you take your sword out and you freaking fight for it. Like, nope, I got the goosebumps. This someone's gonna feel that too, kind of thing. So it's like as long as I know I've freaking loved it, or I had a moment somewhere in the creation process that this is great, then I should I'd die on that horse. Horse? Die on that.
Die on that horse.
Is that what you said?
Die on that hill.
Hill. Die on that horse. I like that better.
Do you get to claim English as a second language? I don't think you can claim that.
I'm on the horse. I'm like, this is a fucking great song. I'm gonna die on it.
Die on this horse.
Die on this horse. Yeah. The horse keeps going.
The horse keeps going. Yeah, that's what that was.
Die on this hill. Yeah, die on this horse is great.
That'll be the teaser for the episode. Is me just slumped.
Yeah. But yeah, so if I feel good about it, gotta go with it.
I want to get into well, before I jump, are there any artists out there, when you look at their social media and the way that they handle it, are that kind of like goals for you in terms of they are just posting shit? They're just saying like, this is what I want to put out there. I'm putting out there, like that one that you feel you're insecure about it. It goes out there. Is there anybody out there that you see that is doing that really, really well? It's just like, no, this is me. Here it is.
I've seen a couple people that I don't remember their names, but I've seen a couple people, like videos come up and I'm like, oh, this is great. They're kind of taking the piss out of it too. Or I guess it's just also seeing other people's content sometimes stresses me out because it'll make me be like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I should be doing these videos. Like this video has 1 million views and he's just sitting in his car. I'm like, maybe I should be doing that. So sometimes that stresses me out when I see other artists' content. I feel like sometimes it's good to just put your blinders on and just do you. Yeah. But then I have seen other people like Cameron Whitcomb, the Canadian guy who's absolutely freaking killing it. I see some of his videos and he's very like animated, like you can see why it's engaging, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm that kind of person, but it's cool to see like polished content look good and like see how it reacts and consistently, like that's inspiring. Yeah. There's other content I see where I'm like, fuck. Yeah. I what am I doing this for again? I'm like, I'm just gonna stick to writing songs and maybe I'll stop being I don't want to put myself out there ever again. Yeah. And like the cringe type promo content is interesting too. And we talked about this a little bit at dinner the other night where like I am having a hard time right now gauging the temperature of social media because so much of that content is artificially inflated by labels and other agency influences that are playing behind the scenes and doing some weird stuff on social. And I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't be doing that because I'm not here to, take a morality stance on it. Of course. But it is definitely something that confuses me because I look at those types of videos and I go, this is shit. These are bad videos, and yet they do crazy numbers. Does that mean that they're completely artificially inflated, or does that mean that as a society, we are at a point where we've lowered our expectations for content so much that are people getting tricked by these? Like when so-and-so says, I went and drove Uber for a week and I played my song for random people, and they're not that's a lie. It's for the bit, but they present it as authentic. Are people getting fooled by that, do you think, or is that artificially inflated? I think some people are definitely getting fooled by stuff like that. That's crazy. And I think, well, a lot of times I'll post stuff where I'm obviously joking or I'll do stupid edits. But like, there's people that are fooled that I've seen your comments. I'm deadly serious. Yeah, and people being I feel like you shouldn't edit it like this. Yeah, there's a tough line of like, there's a lot of people out there, and a lot of different people are going to see the video. So some people are going to be like, "That's serious." Some people are going to be like, "That's a fucking fake reaction." Some people are like, "I can't believe that I can't believe that video." Like, you don't know who you're getting it to. But the tough thing is like getting it to more and more people like that. So if you're putting money into it, it's going to reach those people, then you're going to reach more people that believe it, more people that don't, whatever that is. But every time I go online and I'm like about to post a video and then I see a little boost post to reach this many people, and I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that. Do you want to reach more idiots? Throw us $100 and Apple will take 30% of it. But it makes me think, I'm like, shit, like, do I need to be like funneling like 50 grand into a post to like get it? But I'm like, that's what ends up happening in certain cases. Like, they're like, you can make a song really get out to people, but I feel like for me, I would, if something was naturally doing its thing, then I'd be like, okay, let me like chuck a bit of money on it. But I haven't done that yet because nothing's really been going. But and I want to be clear, I'm not against paid promotion. Like that's fantastic. Course, like, advertising, marketing 101. Of course, it is what it is. There's other ways that it's being done that makes it feel a little bit. I don't want to say dirtier.
slimier.
Yeah, I think it's more so like, it's a comparison thing. So if someone, like I've spent a lot of time working on a video and I put it up and then I see another video that's got all these views and I'm like, I don't think the substance is there. It just makes you like think, well, is this good enough? Am I interesting?
Yeah.
What do I have to do?
Yeah.
And I think it's just, I'm in a healthier position now where I'm like, I don't care. Like if a video gets 500 views or whatever, I'm like, it is what it is. I enjoyed making it. Let me just keep going. Let me keep putting it up. But a while ago, it would have been like, oh God, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I also envy people that I see some people have very, very healthy relationships with content where it's like kind of their life. And I'm like, I see their TikTok, I see their Instagram. And I'm like, I don't think I'm interesting enough to be able to be posting that much and that often. Like they've let people directly into their life. And then I have a mental battle. I'm like, well, maybe that's exactly what I have to do.
Right.
I have to feel myself getting out of bed, like connect with people.
Right.
It's just a wild world. Then I'm like, wait a second, I'm an artist. I'm like, I should be focusing on the music. It's wild.
It's a tough cycle to be in for sure. Because I mean, the answer is yes, more.
Yes,
but then also like, is that even what you want? You know, like yes, you want the attention for your career that comes from that, but also there's other types of attention that come with that, and the workload that it takes to do it. I mean,
reality is you have to do it to be in it.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Right.
Up to you.
Well, and I like that you seem to have found or are really starting to hone in like, these are the types of content that I want to be cranking out.
For sure.
I've lowered the barrier to doing that type of content because I enjoy doing it, and so you're doing it more often. I think that's really like the takeaway on that. I want to go a little bit deeper onto like label versus independent because you've had the opportunity to experience both lifestyles.
Yes.
Rewind me a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
Did Sony drop you?
No, we left Sony.
How did that work?
So we were signed at Sony for 5 years.
Yep.
And essentially we'd had like a lot of ups and downs, and I can go into, there's so many parts to it now that I've processed afterwards that I'm more understanding of. Well,
let me add this. I only want to go into it enough to be able to understand kind of like what you did, what your experience was there as an artist versus then independent. I'm not trying to be like, let's dive into the drama.
No, not the drama, but essentially 5 years in, we were in a position where we were just like unhappy with how things were going. You know, we had a couple of things that failed at radio, and we were just a little bit lost, and we were like, let's take ownership back, because you make money off streaming, right? And the label owns the masters. We weren't getting played on radio. There was a big thing on that, and it is what it was. It is what it was.
It is what it was.
Because it's not anymore.
It isn't.
Smart.
Very nice.
But no, so we ended up having a sit down with Sony, and they'd known where kind of we were at, because we'd had that conversation a year before actually. And we were just like, we love you guys. We had a great relationship with everyone personally, but we would like to be on our own. Yeah. We would like to take this, like, release music alone, and no, like, hard feelings at all, but, like, can you let us out, please? And they were actually really, really incredible about it. They understood. We had this conversation with them a year before, and they were like, we'll let you go. We don't want to hold you hostage, which is phenomenal.
That's really
like
cool.
That doesn't
because they don't
really
have to do
happening.
that.
They don't have to do that at all.
They could tell you, take a seat.
Absolutely.
We're going to hold on to here.
Get on the shelf.
Right. Literally.
Make something happen. We'll see you then.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't. So we were extremely grateful. And we're like, let's go independent. And like, we've got this. And that's when you quickly realize how much
they were doing.
Yeah, how much they were doing. And how much you have to do now.
Yeah.
And I think like we understood that to a degree, but it was like, I'm in a position, I'm like, all right, we got to do this content. Let's freaking go. And we kind of went all in on the first song, promoting it a little bit. And then like slowly each song we did a little less in. And then I think the reality of the situation just came to be. And that's when inevitably Tom was like, my heart's not in this anymore.
Yeah.
And I understood that, and I saw that, and I was like, well, I'm going to continue it. I know what we have to do. Yeah. And I know it sucks, but it just is what it is. Let's go. Yeah. But I quickly realized, I was like, oh, damn, like this is what the label was doing. This is like, we had marketing teams, social media teams. We would have people to talk to back and forth. I know they're putting money into certain posts, and like they're helping out with strategy and
at minimum, they have people on salary doing things.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it was, I acknowledged a lot of that afterwards, being like, damn, that like, I understand that. I've got a workload on me now that I never had. We also had management, and in that management team, they had social media and marketing as well. So like there's so many moving pieces that were available for help, and we let go of our management and our label and went completely independent. So it was like from one major to like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
It's a crazy
swing. Really
How did
fun.
you kind of dig yourself out of that, I'm sure, a discouragement hole?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was really tough coming out of the label deal, and obviously Tom leaving. That was really tough because I was like, holy shit, like I've got no one now.
Yeah.
I have my agent who's been amazing, and my business manager, my attorney, but I'm like on the creative side of things, I'm like, it's me. So I had a really tough time, honestly, but I feel like I'm so much better off right now. I've learned in the last year and a half, like just kind of taking it by the horns, taking the horse by the hair. No, I've learned so much, man. I've produced the first song that came out. I have another song coming out in a few weeks. I produced that. I kind of just had to be like, I need to start moving forward, otherwise I'm going to sink.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got a camera. I started writing a bunch of music, started producing it, started filming videos, and I was it was behind scenes for like over a year essentially, because we hadn't even announced that we were separating.
Right.
So I went through a complete stress at the same time I'm getting married.
You're getting married.
I proposed to my fiance, got back home, and then that's when it all kind of went down. So I'm like planning a wedding and trying to be excited and happy about this amazing thing while feeling like my whole world and life is crumbled. Mm-hmm. So that was a big life learning lesson.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've come out at a really good spot. Like I feel great about the things that I've learned. Just being able to be like, you know what, it is what it is. Back on the horse, let's go. A lot of horse chat.
A lot of horses.
Lot of horses.
Yeah.
Back on the bull. But yeah, I've got a good perspective of what that side's like, what this side's like, where I want to be, how I know I like things to work, and now I can build a team and kind of build again from here, but with a lot of knowledge and resources, mental resources. I'm not green anymore.
Being on the outside looking in at the major label space, do you feel like an independent marketing approach can be more effective than a major label marketing approach when it comes to an artist?
Well, I feel like major label marketing, are we talking like you're seeing like professional looking banners, like ads and stuff like that? I feel like that's all useful to get to people, but I feel like what connects with people is real stories and something that's relatable. And that's why you see artists in the last few years that had just posted a video of them singing in their bedroom, and now they're selling out arenas or doing club tours, because it was so real and authentic that's what people love. But then if you combine that with a major label that's like, you keep doing your real stuff, we'll just pour some gasoline on the fire and then fucking wha-bang. It's crazy. But then for me to not feel like that green artist when I started, where it was all fun and enjoyable, and I'm like, I don't feel like that person, whereas a camera comes on me now, I'm like, I'm being fake. Like, it's bullshit. So I have these battles of like, how do I still be fun and like fresh when I don't feel like I am at all? Like that's where finding those ways to do the content has kind of been my way to still do it without feeling like I'm like soul crushing myself.
Yeah. How on that topic, how has your kind of like day-to-day evolved as an artist over the last couple of years? Are you more structured, less structured? Like, how has that kind of looked for you?
I would like to say it's structured, but it's not.
Sure.
It's as structured as it should be, because I'm kind of going back and forth right now. I'm either writing a couple days a week for myself, writing for someone else, producing for someone else, now producing for myself, and then picking out days to film content. So I'm not the most organized person, where I'm a little off the cuff, where I'll be like, wake up and be like, okay, I'm going to spend the next few hours working on this song that's coming out. Then I'll film a couple videos. Then I'll work on this demo that I haven't finished, and then kind of like space it out. I definitely could be way more structured. And I feel like maybe having a team that I can call every day and be like, hey, like, what should I be doing is something that would help that. I feel like I thrive off being able to have a conversation with someone. And I know we spoke about this the other night, like to get an idea off, and then what you think about that idea, then we can expand on that idea. sometimes doing that alone is a little tough. Like if I wake up, Cease's at work, I go into write, that's fine, I know what I'm doing. But if I go in and sit down and be like, I'm going to make a video today, that's fucking stressful. So like somehow planning that, I think would be helpful to me. So to answer your question, it's not incredibly structured, and I need to work on that for sure.
I mean, I can relate to that for sure, especially creatively. I think it's also, I think, a weird thing, and this is why I've always had an admiration for songwriters who have scheduled writes, where it's like you have a scheduled time to be creative. That's a really weird concept, I think. In songwriting, it is so commonplace. Like, no, that's just what you do here. You come to Nashville, you get a pub deal, like you're writing every day at 10. 11?
11.
11, excuse me. Sleeping in a little.
Come on, mate. Come on.
10. You're writing every day at 11. You got to show up. You got to have ideas. You got to be ready to bounce off whoever's in the room, whatever you guys are working with. It's such a strange thing to be like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to ideate.
Right.
But it's so necessary to crank out the amount of songs that come out of Nashville every single year.
And it's like, that's a job.
Right.
But then to feel like you're also working, that's honestly, the whole 11 right thing still stresses me out a little bit because you don't know what's going to happen walking into it. And this has happened to me so much recently, where I'll look at my day and I'll be like, I don't think I can do it. Like I'm almost honestly just scared. Like I don't believe in myself enough to go into this room and like write this song, produce the track after. I'm like, I don't think I can do it. And then I'll get in and then you just do it.
Yeah.
And somehow it just comes out. I'm like, oh wow, I did it.
It's kind of like going to the gym, where it's like, I really don't.
I don't think I could do this.
I don't feel it today. I just don't think I can get through this. But like you get there and that's the hardest part.
And that's probably different for everyone.
Sure.
Like me personally, I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm not ready to make this song. I don't know what the song's going to be. How can I be so confident that I'm going to walk out of there? And I'm so precious about, if I'm writing for me now, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And then you end up ruining the day.
Yeah.
But I've had to kind of take a step back and be like, act as if it's not me. We just write to write. Let's try to come up with something cool.
That's a cool way to think about it. I like that. Do you measure success differently as an independent artist now than you did when you were major label?
I also, when I was at the label, I was 23 when I signed. My idea of success and my idea of how this trajectory was going to go was put out first song, like number one, next song, number one, like arenas, stadiums, like 2 years. Like it was like, there's no way, like it's not going to
like
go
who
like
has
this.
done that?
Yeah.
You know,
like
the
it's like,
list
this
of
is
people.
exactly how it's going to go.
Yeah.
So my idea of success then was like, yeah, like $1 million, like pretty quick, like we'll do this.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, let's get like, let me see if I can get 200,000 streams in a couple of weeks. That would be really nice. I just want to be, I'm not trying to, obviously playing stadiums would be incredible. And then I'm probably in a different position now. I'm a little older and like my goals have changed on that, where I want to be able to play shows to people that love my music and want to see them. I'm not fussed if it's a club tour, or if it's a little smaller. Like if I can go and play shows to people that want to be there, that's the feeling I get. But I want to be able to put music out to people that want to hear my music and to make a living doing that, continue to make a living doing that. And if I can make a living doing that, I'm winning. I'm good. Like I want to be comfortable, but I'm not sitting here like I need Rolexes, I need a couple $1 million. That'd be sick, obviously, and I wouldn't complain. And I think that mindset, if I was consistent, like obviously that's a true possibility.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily like what I think success is. Success is people being able to feed a family and do what they love to do and love doing it.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like it's been more of just a natural maturation as you've gotten older versus like a label versus non-label thing. It's just you're growing up.
I'm not green. Yeah. I'm not the green kid. I'm red.
Yes.
I'm red now. Guys, I'm red.
This is Mitch and he's red. Easton, scroll down for me, bro. Going back to Seaforth specifically, and you now being the face, the voice, and the strategy behind it.
Yes.
This show is called Creative Control because this is the first time that I have had full creative control, and I haven't been kind of at the mercy of like somebody else's approvals, namely a client.
Yeah.
You're in a similar spot now. What is it like to be the only one with your hands on the wheel when prior it was two people?
To be the only one with the hands on the wheel, it's daunting for sure. Oh man, Oh, I'm just hitting the headphones. We're good.
Oh, yeah.
It's daunting for sure because no one's sitting there looking at me like, what are we doing? It's like, it's all me.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting because I can do whatever I want. But sometimes I feel like that's stressful because I question if what I'm doing is the right thing. And I feel like me as a person, like I like getting approval of someone or validation.
Yeah.
And I want someone to be like, this is great.
Yeah.
And that might just be my own personal thing that I need to work on for sure. So I feel like there's a good balance of like, I can do whatever I want. It's great. Let's go. But then I'll then question all those things. Be like, is this the right thing? Is this good? So I feel like it's great, but it's also a little scary.
Yeah. I would assume the more plays you make, whether it's content or music, as a solo artist,
right,
the more you make and the more it works, the more you're going to find that confidence
for sure.
to be
and,
like, yeah, dude, I got this.
And this is so early in this new phase for me,
Yeah.
so it's hard for me to really give you an accurate, like I'm in the best place ever because I'm still in that. I've put one song out. I'm really starting that. I'm in a way better place than I was when we'd spoken last year, but I'm still not in that place where I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I feel amazing.
What
know
if
what I mean?
you? Yeah, totally. And plug the song, by the way.
Her in My Hometown came out
buddy.
May 2nd.
Yeah,
It's,
buddy.
the first of many.
It's great.
Thank you.
It's
man.
really great. I love it.
Thank you.
What have you learned about yourself during this chapter so far?
That I'm pretty resilient.
Awesome, man.
I'm not going to mention a horse again. God damn it! I was about to be like,
Go ahead, dude. Do
that
another.
I'm really
horse
great at getting back on the horse.
Just the most horse metaphors you can fit into an hour.
No, I think I'm quite patient.
Yeah.
And I've learned to be patient and resilient, and that this is what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't wrong in. Obviously, timing is a massive thing, and things could have gone differently. There could have been different decisions along the way that could have changed the trajectory of my career so far, but I'm still confident. I still have that like little vision of like the dream, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's always been there. It's just the road looks different now of how I'm getting there.
Nice.
But there's still a road.
Yeah. Good metaphor that didn't have to do with a horse. That's very nice.
Go.
Yeah, dude. Let's
and
go.
what rides on roads? Horses.
Your fans are super loyal, and it's cool to see them in your comment sections. It's cool to hear like you talk about them and how much you appreciate them and love them and how much they ride for you. How'd you do that? Because that's what every artist wants at the end of the day, is a fan base that rocks with them.
It's really cool, and honestly, I was really worried going silent for so long, and then like after the split, being like, no one, like everyone's gonna leave, and like I feel like I've only lost followers to be honest, but I feel like that's a natural thing, and I was prepared that that's going to happen. But then I see comments of familiar names and people that I know that have been following for so long, and that makes me feel really great because they're like, we would just want to continue to support Seaforth. We love what Seaforth has done so far, and whether that means just you, that's great. Like we want to keep supporting that. So that feels amazing. I don't know anything specifically other than just we've continuing just being myself. I feel like has helped, and I feel like maybe there's some people out there that have been off, like don't even realize that Seaforth is still going, and that's kind of a algorithmic situation where I'm like, I don't get to reach all the people at the same time, but there's definitely people that have stuck around and hopefully will continue to stick around. And I don't know, that's amazing. I don't think there's anything special I've done, but hopefully we've just connected in a way that those people are like, I love what this is. It's different to me. Like I want to continue on that journey.
How would you compare the connection that Seaforth fans make through the music versus through the content?
Honestly, I feel like that has almost been a disconnect, where a lot of our music that has done well has been very serious, and actually that's not entirely true now that I think about it too. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's just a personal thing where I'll be like, we'll put out this song. I'm promoting like Her in My Hometown that I just put out, for instance. That's a really serious song. That's about where I grew up, the girl I'm about to marry. And I'm sitting there thinking, how can I make a joke of this and make it funny?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's
on
not...
the content side, you mean?
On the content side, yeah, not make it...
Yeah. How can I ruin the song?
Yeah. So it's like, that has always been a disconnect for me, being like, I can be serious or I can be vulnerable sometimes, but if I like try to be vulnerable, I feel like I'm like, that's lame. That's good.
It's interesting to me to see, like, I'm asking you that question not because like I have an agenda to answer that I want you to say. I genuinely am curious about that with you and with other artists. Like this artist PD USA, who I love. So PD's content,
of course,
is skits, and that's how I found him. Like he's doing these skits where he's playing multiple characters in this skit that he's written, and they're really funny and really clever and so creative the way that he puts them together. Then you get to his music and you're like, dude, this guy's so introspective. He's so thoughtful. And like those two things go together for sure. I'm not surprised that guy who makes that music is also the guy who makes this music or makes these sketches. But it is interesting when you think about fans. There's probably people who love his content who hate his music, and there's probably people who love his music who hate his content.
Absolutely.
What do you do with that? You know what I mean? I think that's so fascinating.
Well, I guess the cool thing is then you can have people that are fans of you for one thing, fans of you for the other thing, and maybe both of them will come to the same show because they get to speak to you or like hear you speak. And maybe if I feel like I'm consistently the same person on stage as I am in this room, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they come to see the show just because they like me as a dude. And that's cool too. They're like booing. They're like, fucking hate this song. Keep speaking. Yeah. I don't know. But like, I feel like
more edits on Instagram.
Yeah. Clip it. Just clip it. Let me scroll through the show quickly. Yeah. I feel like that's a cool thing that people could. I mean, back in the day, there was a curtain in front of artists. It was like, you get this CD, you have no fucking idea about who they are. It's mysterious. And that's the draw. That's kind of gone now. And in a way that the mysterious draw was cool because you could just focus on the music. And I'm not saying I was ever like part of the mysterious draw, but like
it's not really
for other people, that was cool. You'd go see your favorite band. You didn't know anything about them really, maybe an interview, but now it's like the curtain's fucking wide open. But now that means I can let you into my life. And that's what I need to figure out how to do better because I don't think I do that entirely. I'm still a little reserved on that, but if you can do that, then people just fall in love with you as a person, and then I feel like that in turn makes them like the music a little more, hopefully, because they're like, oh, he's cool, like it's fine, or they're just like, they like whatever you put out. But if you can get both of those, then that's what's really going to build like a proper fan, because then I'm a fan of you.
As a human.
Great song. You can be a fan of a song, but am I going to go see shows? Am I going to go buy tickets to that? Maybe, but like,
I heard a quote.
I love that guy, that band. Like, I'm going to come and see more of that because I'm invested.
Yeah. I heard a quote recently that was, followers don't equal fans. Fans exist. What do you think about that? Do you think that's true?
I think it's kind of exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah. I like that quote.
I love that.
I said that quote.
I actually don't like that quote.
Hate that quote.
It's bullshit. More about horses, please.
Buy the Fans Exist merch in our shop now.
Yeah.
You've been around the block a bit, music and content.
Slut.
What? Let's get to your social life. In 2016, do you have any advice what advice do you have for anybody trying to build an audience, whether as a musician or as a content creator?
I always feel so weird giving advice where I don't feel like I'm in a position to give advice.
I'm telling you can give advice.
I feel... because I'm like, this is the step by step.
But you don't need to give advice that is like, hey, get millions of views per video. Yeah. Just give advice based on your perspective and kind of what you're experiencing.
What I've at least learned is consistency is very key, but like quality is also key. Like, finding things that you enjoy, whatever that might be. What I enjoy might not be what you enjoy, but if you can find something that is your thing that you're comfortable doing, and then you can continue to recreate, I feel like you just got to just try a bunch of random shit until you find something that's like, oh, that's me. And that's authentically you. And I feel like there's no way to find out what that is unless you just try a bunch of stuff and just get going. Like at the end of the day, I could have sat at home and posted nothing because I'm so critical over everything until I just start going, fuck it, let me do this, let me do that. Still figuring that out, but have your fuck it phase of just be like, just try a bunch of shit.
Cool.
That's probably terrible advice.
I think it's great advice. I mean, especially when it comes to maybe not for drug use, but like maybe for content. I think that's probably a good strategy.
Get creative.
Yeah,
have fun with it. Have fun with it.
Make a friend under a bridge.
Find a horse.
Can be anything, personal, business, etc. What are you excited about right now?
What am I excited about right now? I've got a lot to be excited about right now, honestly. First thing is I have another song that I just finished that came back the other day, and I'm really excited about it because it's something I completed. That's coming out in a couple weeks.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to get married in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to get married
I'm
too.
really excited. Like, I have some incredible friends. I have an incredible fiance, and my family, her family, everyone coming together for the. I'm really freaking excited about that.
Yeah, dude. Well, I can't wait to celebrate you.
I know.
What questions did I miss? Is there anything you wanted to talk about today that we didn't touch?
I feel like I blabbered on a lot about, like, I don't even know how you even get to the point of I was saying. I feel like I was learning about myself as I was speaking about
That's
it.
the goal, buddy.
Which is cool. I like speaking about this though.
Good.
It's cool.
Good,
And
man.
it's not from a place of I'm killing it. I'm doing well because I know I'm not, but I feel like I'm doing well in the sense of that I've got back on the high horse. And
I don't want to be on my high horse speaking about this.
Yeah. No, I got pulled up the chair and got back on.
Is there anything?
Is there anything?
It can
I'm
be
not
no.
sure.
It can be no. It's okay.
I don't think so.
Sweet, bro.
Thanks for.
Well, I want to encourage you that I'm loving your content. I'm loving what you're doing.
Appreciate
the
it.
music continue, like, it's never a question mark. The music's always been great. It'll continue to be great, and I'm excited to see where you take Seaforth now that it's just in your hands, man.
Well, I love you, mate. Thank
I love
you
you too, buddy.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
coming.
much.
Hell yeah. That's Creative Control. See you next week.